We're visiting here with Zach Nehrir, the All-Star Home Run Derby champion from last night. Zach Nehrir and Hill Alexander put on an absolute show from Franklin Field. Zach, I know you have been a really busy man in the last 24 hours, so I appreciate you spending some time with us. Before I get your thoughts on last night, I want to talk about the anticipation leading up to the Home Run Derby. You get into Milwaukee yesterday. From being in Winnipeg, playing games, you're there, you have commitments all day. Then you get to the field and you start to get ready, you start to prep. Your first home run derby. Hey, you're a professional, but was there a little bit of nervousness going through you as you prepared for this one?
Oh, 100%. 100% I was nervous. Yeah, I mean, last thing you want to do is go out there and not hit any home runs, because that would just look terrible. It's a home run derby, so you want to make sure you get that first one. So until you get that first one or two, you got that little monkey on your back, kind of like, oh, you better get a home run. If you don't, it's going to be bad. So going into it, I was definitely a little nervous, but I was just making sure my butterflies were flying in formation, and in my stomach instead of just all over the place. Like, being nervous is just being excited. So I was just trying to focus on the excitement I had and the opportunity I had at hand, never being in a home run derby before. So I was just focusing on that and just enjoy it. And you've never been a part of one of these, so go into it and just do your best, and things will end up how they're supposed to. So just try to have that kind of peace going into it, and just wanted to enjoy every second.
Now you also got paired up against the hometown guy, Cam Ballego, in the first round. So you're going up against the hosting player, if you will. You got into a rhythm there in that first round. So kind of take me through that. Obviously, you wouldn't. You want to win. If you didn't want to win, you wouldn't have competed in the thing. But get in that first round, going against the hometown guy, kind of in your first reps in a home run derby. Kind of take me through your mindset in round number one.
So, I was fortunate in round one. I did go up against the hometown guy, and obviously everybody there was rooting for him. The local fans, and there's a lot of milkmen on the All-Star team. They were all pulling for him, and it was funny. A couple of them were like, hey, I love you, but I got to go with my guy Cam. And so it was funny going to that first round. I knew I was like kind of the underdog, but yeah, I mean, I was glad I got to go second. So all the other rounds I had to go first. And going into the first round, I knew I had a number I needed to beat. I think he had 6, and I ended up with 7. So I was like, okay, I knew that was my benchmark, 3 each minute. I was like, all right, I think I can do that and maybe get a couple more. So it was nice to know, where I needed to get to and what I needed to move on to the next round. And I wish I would have had that advantage going forward. Fortunately, didn't end up needing it, but it was cool to go second. And Cam's a great guy, and I joked with him before, and I was like, hey, let's just make it a good show and go all the way. If whichever one of us wins this round. I talked about Hill at the same thing. Once I got to Hill the next round, I was like, hey, whichever one of us moves on, we got to win the whole thing. So let's go, let's get it done, bring it back to Cleburne.
So let's talk about that semifinal round. You look good in round number one. Hill looked fantastic in round number one. You get to the semifinals, and here you are facing your teammate. And I thought the American Association did a fantastic job kind of capturing the mindset of you two guys with some of the video they shot, and you encouraging Hill, Hill encouraging you, Shark and Joe being right there in the middle of it. As you got to that semifinal round, kind of what was going through your head?
So, yeah, I mean, as I said, Hill and I were both like, all right, well, whoever wins this round, we got to win the whole thing. So let's just get it done. And we were pulling for each other the whole time. Obviously, each of us wanted to win, but there was never any negative animosity or anything between us. And I don't know, talking about hitting, it's just kind of getting in that groove. And we joked about it, and they asked us who hits more home runs in BP normally. And I think I'd give it to him, but we're not trying to hit home runs at BP, because when you do that, you're getting a little too big, and it doesn't necessarily always translate to in-game swings. So we're trying to keep ourselves, we hold each other accountable in BP, me, Hill, Mark, everybody we're hitting with day to day, to make sure we're not getting too big and we're staying with our approach and getting our feels right. But then in a home run derby, it's all bets are off. You're just going to let it eat and let it fly. So it's trying to find that groove and get into that groove. And the video that the American Association shared, where it was in the finals and he was mic'd up, you kind of see him just reminding me hey, get in a rhythm, stay loose, don't get too big. It's about finding that happy medium of where your effort level needs to be and where you're trying to catch the ball and living there. So it's like once you had a couple in a row, you knew whoever was up. Like in that last round, I was going against Connor. His first 4 swings were homers. So I'm like, oh, great. He's off to a good start. But it's like once you find that groove, you just try to live in that as long as you can. So, you know, he had a great first round against Altman, and I would be lying if I didn't say I was a little nervous going against him. You know, I was like, okay, great. Hill's got some pop, but you know, we'll see what happens. So it was great. It was awesome. Everybody supported each other, and we had a lot of fun.
So you get down to the finals. It's you and Connor Panis, and I will say this. Now, I'm biased. I'm rooting for you guys the entire way. But as a fan, not if I separate my feelings for you and I'm watching as a fan, when you got to the finals, there was just a look about you, Zach. You were just locked in. I mean, it was like from your body language to your facial features to your expressions, yes, you were having fun, but it seemed like once you got to the finals, it was time to go to work. Like you weren't leaving there without a win. Am I right in that? Was that your mindset?
Yeah, I mean, once I that was my mindset. But I knew going first, I had to really lock it in because going second, you know, you have a number. You're like, I need to get to that number. I knew going first, I was like, I need to make this number as high as I possibly can. All I can do is focus on each pitch and like putting my best swing on it and then get ready for the next one. That was another tough thing. I've never done a home run derby. I really like the not timed format, the one with just 10 outs, better as a fan, at least growing up and stuff, because you got to appreciate and like watch all the home runs. Guys got to breathe a little bit more, take pitches if they didn't want to swing. With the time home run derby, like I joked with Altman before because I'd never done one. I was like, hey, you did it last year. Like, what's your best advice? He's like, swing hard and swing fast. Like, don't stop swinging. So it was like, I kind of took that and I was like, okay, I need to swing hard, swing fast, get as many swings as I can, but also make sure I'm not over swinging, like find that happy medium in that groove that we talked about. But yeah, after the first round, I was like, well, if I'm going to compete and be in it, I was like, I might as well do my best to win it and hopefully come out on top. So I'm glad it ended up that way. But yeah, I was pretty dang focused.
So you're the home run champion. You were handed the strap by the commissioner, Josh Schaub, last night. Now you go into tonight, and you are going to be playing on a stage with the very best players in this league. And now it's almost like your stage is even going to be a little bit higher because you're the home run derby champ. They'll be talking about that. That'll be a point of conversation heading into the game tonight for you. And you've talked about it before. If this is indeed your final run in your last year tonight, do you want to really soak it in? Or are you going to take the opportunity to take those moments and know that there's something for you to remember forever? Are you really going to soak it in as you prepare for the game tonight?
Of course, yeah. And I mean, I'm trying to do that, all throughout this season, even in Winnipeg. I had one of my worst weeks of the year this past week. And I think game 4 or 5, I was really, getting a little frustrated. Results at the end of the day don't matter. And like Hill and I talked about, we don't really, really care, but we get frustrated and annoyed when we're getting ourselves out and not performing well. And we know we can contribute to help the team win. Me and Mark, Hill had a nice homer and a couple of really good games, but me and Mark, especially those first few games in Winnipeg, was like we couldn't see the ball and we were getting really frustrated. But then, I found myself, I think, game 4 or 5, just like stepping back and like, you know what, it's beautiful. I got the Winnipeg skyline. I get to play outfield, professional baseball. Like, this is cool to be here. And it's just like still trying to find myself to appreciate where I'm at and just kind of be where my feet are. So tonight in the game, it'll be the same thing. I'd be lying if I said we weren't trying to do something special. Because, if you get a couple singles and a walk or something, yeah, that's a great game. But these stats don't matter. You're trying to do something to make an impact. If there is scouts there, you want to stand out. So we're trying to drive the ball, maybe hit a home run, do something to create a big difference in this game. But, yeah, I'm going to be taking it in, trying to enjoy it a little bit more tonight. Because last night it was just like I was huffing and puffing or trying to be focused or huffing and puffing or trying to be focused. So it was like it's a little bit of a whirlwind last night, but tonight I'm going to be taking it in and trying to enjoy it with all the other guys.
Well, we'll be taking it in as well. We're certainly proud of you and Hill for your efforts last night, and all 4 of you guys that are going to compete in the game tonight. We're looking for all 4 of you to show out. You 3 hitters are obviously going to do your thing. Joe Corbett's obviously going to have an opportunity to maybe get an inning and let it eat tonight and make some hitters look silly in that West Division. Congratulations to you, my man. It was an unbelievable night. No, one last thing before we go. I almost wished I could have been there last night to rip the microphone right out of Matt Yazel's hand when he continued to refer to you as the former Milwaukee Milkman. Matt, this is for you, and this is for everybody watching. The only reason Zach Nehrir was a Milwaukee Milkman is because he was loaned to Milwaukee by the Cleburne Railroaders. Zach Nehrir is a Cleburne Railroader through and through. Nothing's ever going to change that. He's a railroader today. He's a railroader tomorrow. He's a railroader forever. So we appreciate you, my friend. Go enjoy tonight for all that it is. It's something that you deserve. It's something that all four of you earned. And go show the world. Go show all the American Association why the best talent's right here in Cleburne, my friend.
Amen. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate you having me on, and God bless. Have a good rest of your day.
The great Zach Nehrir, ladies and gentlemen, right here as we celebrate him and his home run derby championship here on All-Star Week in Milwaukee.